What's going on, people? My name's Maud and I am here for your road trip for the Manchester United versus Wolves game today, 8 p.m. Yes, I know I'm outside of Old Trafford, but we are playing away at the Molineux Stadium. It's going to be a very interesting game because, in my opinion, there is no excuse for anything other than a win. That's how I'm going to start the show. There is no excuse for anything other than a win. I looked at Wolves' results. They've lost their last 9 games. Lost, not that they've drawn, not they've lost their last 9 games. They've won 1 in their last 15 games. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, let me not say it's criminal, because anyone can beat anyone on any given day. But for United to not take 3 points away at Wolves tonight, I can't understand it. There will be no excuses that I can give to any of the players, the manager, the board, or Ineos, whoever's involved in this game. There's no excuse that I can give. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? Are you even debating that it could be a draw? Are you looking at Wolves' team? Are you looking at their last couple of games? To me, there's nothing that they could have done in their last few games that's going to give me any inclination that they can win against Manchester United. So that's how I'm going to start off the show. But look, let's go into the rest of the show. I'm going to talk about a few different things. I'm going to talk about my predicted 11. I'm going to talk about some of the comments that Amorim has made recently. There's been so much talk let me not say for some reason, but there's been so much talk about Kobbie Mainoo because obviously Amorim was asked about him in the press and he kind of giggled a little bit. I think people are overreacting about that, but there's been so much talk about Mainoo. We're going to see about De Ligt. Will he come straight back into the team? We know he had a little minor injury, but also there's a few other players that I feel like we need to discuss. So let's get straight into it. The first player that I do want to talk about, as I mentioned before, is Kobbie Mainoo. Now, in that last game, the main reason why people are speaking about him is because Kobbie Mainoo obviously didn't feature in the game against West Ham where we drew at home a few days ago. And everyone's been saying, okay, look, why did Kobbie Mainoo not come on the pitch? We clearly weren't confident in that game. We were only 1-0 up. You were making your subs and you decided to take off Xerxes, bring on Ugarte. You even took off Luke Shaw and brought on Martinez. The subs didn't necessarily make sense to a manager or to a team that is trying to get another goal and going to secure the win. Now, the way I look at it is, you know what, fair enough to Amorim. He doesn't obviously trust that Kobbie Mainoo is the best player in the team or he's so much of a game changer. But the way I look at it is, end of the day, if we're playing a team like West Ham, we should be always on the front foot. Always. There should be no point in that game where we're thinking we need to sit back and defend. Unless it's getting completely out of our hand or we get a red card and we're playing with 10 men, fair enough. You hold back, you try and secure the win. But we should be playing West Ham thinking we are a better team because we are the better team. And we should be trying to go against them and be more attacking, be more forward thinking to get the win. The substitutions that he made at the time that he made it felt like he was ready to sit back. It felt like he was ready to try and just hold off a 1-0 win. We should be going to these teams and thinking, look, we're a better team overall. We should be trying to win these kind of games. And Kobbie Mainoo is the kind of player, we've seen him do it countless times. We saw him do it against Wolves 2 years ago. We saw him do it against Lyon last season. We saw him do it in multiple games where he's been able to get goals at different points in the game or when we needed it at clutch moments. Now, I agree. I don't think, I agree with Amorim in the sense that I don't think Kobbie Mainoo has to start every single game. But I saw a stat recently, I saw some news or information recently that there's only been 4 players this season for Manchester United that haven't started a game. The first one is Tom Heaton. Tom Heaton is never going to start a game for United, unfortunately for him, but I don't think he's really that bothered. I don't think anyone expected Tom Heaton to start a game anyway. The second player that's not started a game for Manchester United is Tyrone Malacia. Some of you might not even realise that he still plays for Manchester United. That's how much of an outcast he's been in this team. The third player that hasn't started a game for Man United is Lisandro Martinez. He's been injured all season, and let's be honest, by the end of the season, he'll probably start a game for us. And the fourth player is Kobbie Mainoo. Look at the company that Kobbie Mainoo is sitting with. These are the kind of players that's in his I guess the group, the company that he's with, of players that haven't started a game. That's what it confuses me, because if you're trying to say Kobbie Mainoo is with those players, it makes no sense. Even Aiden Heaven has started a game for Manchester United. So that's my only thing is, even if you don't think he's great enough to play a full Premier League game or to start a Premier League game or whatever you think, there's no way you believe that every other player in the team is good enough to start, but Kobbie Mainoo can't. That's where I sit with it. But look, let's move on to other players in the team. De Ligt obviously didn't play. against West Ham, but Amorim did say in a press conference before that game that was only a minor injury. He should be back in training this week, and hopefully we should be able to see De Ligt back in the team, because in my opinion, I've said it numerous times before, he's one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. What he's been able to do for us and transform our defence, there is no other player in the team that can do what he does. And I feel like every match day that he's available, De Ligt has to be in the team. It is raining right now, so if I do look a bit cold, I'm sorry. It's Manchester weather. That's what we have to deal with. We're used to it though. But look, there's other players that I want to speak about in this team, especially our front three. So look, Mbeumo is unfortunately he's going to be going away soon to AFCON, but I think obviously, as we all know, he is probably one of our better players, if not our best player in that front three. But the other two positions are still up for grabs in my opinion. I think Xerxes has definitely come alive since he's been starting for us, especially since that goal that he scored a couple of games ago. But he, for me, is a player that you can see the difference between him on the pitch right now, him on the pitch and him off the pitch. When he got taken off at Ugarte, it felt like we had no outlet. We had no strike. We had nobody who we can bring the ball to. We had no one that can hold up the ball and create some kind of link-up play. It didn't seem like we were playing positive football as soon as Xerxes came off the pitch. So in my opinion, I think Xerxes should be a player that starts for us in this game against Wolves. But in the last position, that third, I guess you can call it left 10 position, wherever you want to play them, wherever you want to put Xerxes in 10 or put Xerxes in strike. The last forward position, Mason Mount or Cunha. Now Cunha did not have the greatest game in my opinion against West Ham. But the way I look at it again, I feel like Cunha, we've seen what he can do. Not even just for United, for Wolves. And he's going back to Wolves. I feel like this is the perfect game for us to kind of give Cunha give him a bit of a reason to go and prove himself. I mean, whenever you're playing against your old club, you kind of want to show the home fans that you're playing against, the player that you was, and you want to kind of perform. You want to show what you're capable of doing. So for me, I think Cunha has to play in this Wolves game, and I guess that does leave Mason Mount on the bench. But I feel like that front three is still a very good front three: Cunha, Mbeumo, and Xerxes, and hopefully all three of those players can play to their best ability. Now, there's another player that I really want to speak about as well, and there's always been a little bit of a debate between him and the other guy in his position, but that is Dalot and Dorgu. Now, Dalot did get a goal against West Ham. It was a bit of a scrappy goal. I think Casemiro shot, and Dalot just somehow got it in the box and finished it off. But I feel like at that moment in time, Dalot was actually playing probably the best football he's played this season. Now, there's always been a discussion, should Dalot start, should Dorgu start? And I've always been on the side of Dorgu, just because I don't feel like Dalot is naturally better on that left-hand side. I feel like Dorgu, that is probably his best position to play, especially considering that he is left-footed as well. But I feel like Dalot actually the last couple of games has improved a little bit, and he's making less mistakes. He's been a little bit more controlled in the way he plays. And after that goal especially, you'd think to yourself, okay, this is the game that Dalot can play for 90 minutes, that Dalot can continue to actually go on and progress and maybe even save his season a little bit and become a starting left wing back for us if we don't go and get one in January. But he got taken off. And that just goes back to Ruben Amorim's decisions. Why did you take him off at that moment in time? Was it just a change that you were going to make regardless? Or did you feel like Dalot was tired, or was it a little minor injury? We don't know, but that substitution just confused me a little bit, because I felt like Dalot at that moment in time was actually getting into the game, and it felt like he had a little bit more confidence, especially after that goal. But I think going into this Wolves game, if I was to start anyone, I think I might go back to Dalot. I know I'm flip-flopping. I know. You can put it in the comments all you want. I'm flip-flopping. But I feel like when a player's got a little bit more confidence in the way they're playing, especially after a goal, we should be trying to just get the best out of him. And I've always said, look, even though I do pick Dorgu, I do think both of them are not ready, or they're not the best player that we can have in that left wing back position. We still definitely need to go out and buy someone. But whoever's playing the best at that moment in time should be the one to play. So that's that left wing back position with Dalot. The rest of the positions kind of fill out themselves. Luke Shaw can continue to play on that left hand side, on that left centre back position, until Martinez gets a little bit more into the flow of things and he gets a bit more minutes under his belt. Then Martinez will eventually, in my opinion, be a starter for United. It will be probably next year, but let's see in the next couple of months Martinez will get a bit more minutes, and he can be in and out of the team a bit more. And then that leaves Lenny Yoro on the right-hand side, on the right centre-back position, or Managerial, to be fair, because I think Managerial had a pretty good game against West Ham as well. But I think both of those players had decent games. And then obviously Sonny Lammers in there. standard goalkeeper. But look, that's my team. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that team, and also let me know how you feel about the whole game in general. How do you think it's going to go? The last thing I want to touch on is Ruben Amorim. Now, there is loads of conversations around how he's done this season, going forward into the second half of the season. We are obviously going to have to deal with a few players going out for AFCON. How is he going to change the team? How is he going to adapt? My viewpoint has always been the same throughout. Well, for the majority of the season, my viewpoint's been the same. I'm not confident on Amorim, but I still want us to do the best. I want to see Amorim get the best out of what we have, get the best out of the players that we have, and hopefully that'll mean that we get the most results. But at the end of the day, look, like I said at the start of the show, I'm going to round it off the same way. This game is a non-negotiable. Manchester United have to get the 3 points. And if we don't, not that there's not already been serious conversations about what should be happening in the future, but if we don't get this win, Amorim, the players, the Ineos, everyone who's involved, serious conversations around what you're doing at this club, and if any of you guys should be involved at Manchester United. But that is my take on the Manchester United versus Wolves game. That is my road trip, and I'm going to see you on the match day, countdown to kickoff.